Should I use that as my opening line? I also have pit vipers and a leg tattoo.
You should just have a huge you-know-what, and then go from there. Maybe pit vipers and a leg tattoo is helpful as well. Be careful with slamming the drink on the table because the podcast might picks it all up. Yeah, and I have the headphones in, so I'm going to dial that back because that's all I can hear. Alright, that's what you get, Pat. No more of that, though, because you're ruining the audio in this video. Ooh, nice little table luge. That is disgusting. Your tongue is all over the... Yeah, okay. Well, welcome to the ASC, guys. If you don't know who we are and what we're about, you should. Action Sports Community on Facebook and the Facebook group, and obviously on YouTube and everywhere else you can find us. We're building just a general community of action sports enthusiasts. Wow, that's my pillow, man.
Yeah, but
it's the podcast pillow. Oh, so I have a podcast on action sports as well, where I interview kind of the forerunners. You're in the middle of the shot.
I know. I'm in the...
Oh, okay.
I'm doing my transformation.
Okay, well, I interview, and Pat has kind of been the co-host on a lot of the episodes. I've been interviewing a lot of skiers and snowboarders lately in the industry, but today's video is not on my channel, it's on the ASC, and it is about the best action sports athletes to have ever done it. So the question of the day is, who is the best action sport athlete ever?
Also, what defines best?
Yeah, well, we're going to define best as the most well-versed action sports athlete. If you're
not counting results or counting results?
Counting results, also counting...
I don't care about results.
I care about results. I care about medals.
What if someone doesn't compete?
If somebody doesn't compete, they're not the best action sport athletes. You don't know how they perform under pressure. But I'm not talking about just one discipline.
About pressure. I was talking about who's the best at everything, all around. Who's one of the best athletes? Because
that's something I want to take in. I want to take in things you're competing. I want to take in competitions, but I also want to take in all around, like whether they do just solely one action sport, or if they're doing multiple other action sports. As of Travis Pastrana, who we have on our list as probably one of the highest candidates for this. He is obviously a dirt biker. He races freestyle moto, but also he does a lot of other things such as NASCAR and rally. So those are all things we're going to take into consideration. Okay, so what we're going to do quickly is we're going to just hold Travis Pastrana aside because I personally think he is probably one of the foremost candidates for this, but we got to get into this a little more with some other people before we talk about maybe why he might be the best or why somebody else might compare to him. One of the other ones we got on the list is Brian Deegan. So if you guys don't know who Brian Deegan is, he's got freestyle motocross, he's got 3 X Games gold, he does rally cars, off-road truck racing. One of the OGs of freestyle moto.
The general.
And he has 2 kids. 2 kids now? 3 kids, oh my god. Ugh. So what do you think Brian Deegan has to offer in terms of potentially being one of the best action sports athletes to ever do it?
He's also got a lot to offer to the sports and stuff still. Like he's
still out there, yeah.
Very involved in everything, which is definitely good to see from athletes who are
retired.
Yeah.
Getting that vibe going. Yeah, there's his little mini shot, right?
That kid's pretty good.
And it said,
I'm gonna be good.
What I was gonna do in the future. And it says I'm gonna become a pro at motocross. I'm gonna move to California. I'm gonna win Supercross. And I'm gonna have a nice house, a nice car, and I'm gonna have all this stuff, and I had it all in this book. You know? And so yeah, it was my vision and goal at a young age, and I knew that's where I was going.
He's also was one of the, I'm not sure what his exact role was in Metal Militia, but he was a huge part in that as well.
It is nice to see older athletes like this riding, and one thing I wanted to point out is kids and people that are watching this that want to become athletes at a high level like this, visualization and putting it out into the world and writing things down like what he said there is very important. As hokey pokey as it sounds, take it into consideration. Pretty much all the greats and all the best people working at it. Yeah.
His kids are doing very well.
His kids are also doing very well because they started riding at the youngest age on the best track possible.
His daughter races NASCAR.
Okay, well that's not dirt bikes.
No,
so.
But still, like I don't know if she's the only female, but I'm pretty sure she's one.
Some old school moto. Oh my god.
Ghost rid the bike. Hang on. Let's go back. This was a famous clip.
Just passes.
Just ghost rode his bike.
Just whips it through the finish line. That is fucking sick, by the way. So basically, Brian Deegan's just one of the forerunners of freestyle moto and moto in general. And an all-around badass dude setting it. And he's still setting it today and producing content and riding his bike and creating sick stuff for people on YouTube and otherwise. So he's definitely one of the better athletes out there for sure. He's definitely up on our list. I think we're going to put him below maybe the bar with Travis Pastrana just based off the level of difficulty he's done over the years.
Not even that, just the impact that Travis Pastrana's had is a little more than
I think the impact that Travis Pastrana had is going to be the hardest thing to beat. Next one we got on the list is Kelly Slater. At age 40, he has 11 world titles, 50 ASP wins. Don't ask me what an ASP is, but I'm assuming it's a badass surfing
Something
board.
surfing.
Yeah, and he's one of the best big wave surfers ever. Just one of the most dominant surfers there is.
Well, while this guy is a great surfer, surfing is not
He doesn't-
really thought of as an action sport. I mean,
I would consider
I would
surfing
definitely
as an action
classify
sport.
it as
Especially
an
big
action
wave surfing.
Yeah, I could definitely classifying it. It's insanely gnarly, and I'm not trying to discredit it all. When you say action sports,
You don't think of
not
surfing.
coming to the top of your mind.
No.
But it's also like he only surfs. It's very niche down, you know, and it's almost its own sort of
Genre?
community. Like the surfing community is different. It's its own animal. Like it's big enough and it's its own sort of unique thing. Whereas if you get into BMXing and skateboarding and all that stuff, it's all kind of everyone watches everything, you know. Not that I mean.
Very true. Very true. Kelly Slater's definitely up there. He's one by far, as you guys know, and I've said, he's one of the most dominant surfers, and I think he deserves to be on the list. But like we said, it's not as Pat brought up. It's not what comes to mind when you think of action sports. The other one that people have been saying is next one that people have been saying recently is maybe one of the best action sports athletes ever is Ryan Williams. If you guys don't know who Ryan Williams is, he is, I think he's from Australia.
He is
Queensland, yeah. Anyways, young age, got into scootering, BMX, and the man kills it. The man has done so many world's first, although in my personal opinion, I don't think a lot of the world's first should count as world first.
No.
I think if you had an extra bar spin or an extra tail whip, it doesn't really count as a world's
No,
first.
if you're doing a new flip.
But a new flip or a new variation or a new kind of like, I guess it would be like a flip or spin in a trick.
Mhm.
Like if you do a backflip and add a tail whip, I don't think that's like necessarily a new trick. That'd be like doing a dub 12 and adding a mute. You still did a dub 12.
Mhm.
Unless it's like really, really creative, then maybe.
Like, yeah,
But,
if you did, like, it gets a lot more technical in the bike and scooter game because the amount of whips and variables you can
But,
do.
like,
If you
they
do,
do,
like,
like-
a double backflip, triple tail whip, but it's the first one to do a triple tail whip. Yeah,
And
that,
people have done double backflips, double tail whips. I don't think that counts as a new trick. I guess it does, but like it's, I don't know, not the same like degree of is this his 1 hour of
I
his
don't
best tricks?
know. I
We're
just-
gonna throw a whole hour up. No, but dude, this guy.
is not Ryan Williams.
I think it is.
No, I'm pretty sure that's Jed Milden. I mean, I don't know, but I remember seeing something else that was.
Either way, that it looks like a conky to start off the ages. But Ryan Williams like absolutely murders
Yeah,
on
that's
the
not Ryan Williams.
on the scooter. These are little. Wow.
What is
Jesus
this?
Christ.
This is not the best tricks.
This is the best fails, maybe.
That's-
Anyways, he murders on the scooter. A big air on the scooter. X Games.
He just recently
Games is
started
in the-
doing X
is
Games
in the scooter.
biking.
Yeah,
He does biking. I don't.
he does
not-
BMX too. That's why I think he's one of the better ones. Is because
He's just
it's
dual
BMX
sports.
and and scooter. And the difference is BMX and scooter is some relatable tricks, but they're very different things.
I mean, if you had to pick two sports, that's going to be very similar to like skateboarding and or snowboarding and wakeboarding.
Yeah, like snowboarding, wakeboarding, skateboarding. But scootering and BMX are
They're similar. They'd be on
They're
that list.
definitely different though. And as you guys can see, he's by far one of the best. He has
He's-
7 gold medals
he's
in
been-
scooter
yeah,
and BMX
But
at
it's a lot
Nitro
more.
and
That's
X
what I was
Games.
going to say. Nitro World Games is a new thing.
But he has a lot at X
The
Games.
problem with he doesn't have that many X Games.
He's gone the 2 years he did X Games. He gone back to back gold. with
Yes.
BMX Big Air. And,
Yes.
Which is or
Absolutely.
BMX. What is it? It's not Big Air. It's
a mega ramp.
Mega Ramp. Yeah.
But
Which is insane to do considering that that's not your sport.
no, I agree. It's absolutely insanely talented. The one thing I was going to say about Nitro is it's new.
Nitro World
Doesn't
Games,
have
I don't
the
think
same-
it counts as the same.
It's not the
level of
same as X Games.
competition.
It's incredible. I love watching it.
Yeah.
They're doing a great thing, but it's a little different. It's a little bit more like I guess it's similar. They just don't have a winter edition, and as a winter sports athlete, it feels like a little bit more excluded from that. But it's definitely awesome to see what they're doing in that front. But yeah,
Yeah, for sure. So I think he's definitely up there, and like I said, a lot of people are calling him maybe the best action sports athlete out there. Definitely very, very dominant in 2 sports, which is good, and like currently competes in 2 sports. Most people wait till they're most athletes wait till they're done one sport to move on to the next. He's doing both at the same time, which I think is incredibly cool. We have Nyjah Huston on here.
this was one of my favorite things I've.
Yeah, I put
Ever.
Nyjah Huston's till death part as one of the notes for Nyjah Huston.
This is one of the gnarliest things I've ever seen.
This might be
in my
the
life.
This might be the best skateboarding edit
Quality content
I've
here.
seen. Yeah.
This is like 144 pixels.
If the quality ever comes through the screen.
But Nyjah Huston is so far ahead, in my opinion, in that
I think that's why I have him on the list. It's just he only does one sport, but
he's so impressive to watch skateboard. Like anyone who is an action sport athlete will appreciate skateboarding because I'm sure they've been on a skateboard at one point or another and understand how complicated it is.
Oh, so you can appreciate
how easy he makes everything look and the amount of time and hour and effort he put in to get there.
And not only that, just the competition mindset and the dominance this man has.
How many X Games gold medals does he have?
I didn't even write it down actually. There's too many to count. But he has won X Games Street, like...
He's been at X Games since he was like, what, 10?
And he has won
14?
uncountable amounts of X Games gold in Street. The thing is, he's just so
He's
dominant.
so out in the streets and stuff, too. He's creative and doing his own thing. He's different from everybody else.
Yeah, as Pat said, too. He's just, like, so far ahead of the rest.
As an athlete, it's impressive to watch his athletic ability. It's so...
Yeah, for sure.
It's one of the athletes, and I can't think of any other skateboarder that I'd rather watch. Like, there's no... I don't watch skateboarding unless I'm watching Nyjah Huston or X Games comp.
He's just pretty much unstoppable. On the next on the list, we have Shaun White. He's the last person before Travis Pastrana, but Shaun White, as you guys should know by now, is...
How do you spell Shaun White?
He's Shaun White, S-E-A-N, White.
Are you sure? I feel like there's an S-H.
There might be.
It's an S-H-A-U-N. I was going to say, this dude spells his name. Yeah. The one thing I didn't like about Shaun White was his 2014 Olympics performance.
Yeah.
He bitched out of slopestyle because he thought
the weather was too bad.
But it really wasn't.
And other people competed.
Everyone
I don't
competed
like that.
Whenever they make a competition go ahead in bad weather, that's a bad thing. So when an athlete says something, it's usually to be taken seriously. But that one wasn't really justified. Like if you watch 2014 Olympics women's ski slopestyle, almost everyone knuckled the jump. That event should have been canceled.
Yeah.
But X Games, Olympics, the snowboarding slopestyle was totally fine. There was no real speed issues. There was no condition problems. Everyone was fine. He was more concerned with the size of the jumps and that the course had gotten too big to be, which was really him just, in my opinion, being like he was afraid to compete. And
I think he knew that he looked at what everybody else was doing in practice and he knew that he's not at the level in slopestyle that he used to be compared to everybody else.
He's not really a slopestyle. There was a time when he was able to do slope and pipe, but the sport progressed rapidly at a time.
It's hard to do both.
You can't, but it's hard. And he's deaf. He
did win the pipe.
Oh, he's a very, very good pipe snowboarder.
There was also controversy on him winning the pipe as well.
But he was a pipe snowboarder and a vert skater.
Let's just put it this way: he's got 24 X Games gold medals.
Very, very talented athlete. No matter what Chris says, we're sitting here trying to bitch about things and the negatives, but there's no real need for it. He's a very, very talented athlete.
Does X Games vert too in skateboarding, and he does snowboarding. So, he's got the only perfect half pipe score.
Yes, 100%.
I don't know how you get a perfect score in half pipe.
We can watch the run.
But he's got a perfect half pipe score. Yeah, let's watch the run. Pull up the run. Shaun White, perfect half pipe score. But
this is the perfect 100.
Well, the straight air should have knocked him.
Amplitude, baby.
Right there.
It's all about amplitude. Double.
Yeah.
Double.
Another double.
No, single. Nope. You gotta have a single. It's always that hits always a single pretty well in everyone's run. Another double. And then finish it off with a double because you have to show them what's up. Yeah, there it is.
What year is it?
Woo-hoo-hoo! That was nice. Go back. I want to watch that again. Can we please rewind the last trick? Patrick liked the last trick. This one was just nice.
Yeah, super sick.
12, I'm thinking, and the
spin out of that was nice. Yeah,
I like it.
I don't know about perfect scores. I don't think they should exist. I genuinely don't think they should
Look at the pants. Holy shit, man! I remember
and the goggles over the head.
Oh, the pants.
Cheetah print. He's sponsored by Target. How long ago was that? This 2012. Okay, that's why you got a perfect score. This is 2012.
That's still impressive by today's standards, though.
Alright, so Travis Pastrana is the last person on the list. We talked about Travis Pastrana at the beginning of this video, why we think Travis Pastrana might actually be...
I'm throwing a curveball for you here. This is somebody who doesn't compete.
Oh, yes.
In anything, but has some...
adrenaline addiction.
Where's his,
He very well might be one of the best action sports athletes out there.
That's why I was asking about competitions and what you're using to judge this. Quickly touch on this.
Touch on the insanity that is this.
That's some insane stuff. No matter which way you look at it.
That's hanging, that's insane. Hanging off cranes like that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure I'm a big fan of that. If you got a parachute, by all means, do the jump, but...
Off a bus. Yeah, you think it's just a little dangerous.
That's just kind of one that's not necessary, in my opinion. That is a huge gainer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just always in some crazy spots doing
crazy stunts.
I like watching his stuff because he's switched to base jumping too, which has been kind of cool because he's got a cross of both. But I mean, yeah, absolutely insane.
Yeah, for sure. There's a nice base jumping clip right there. That's a really cool
I'd like
power,
to base jump
man.
off of that thing. That would be cool.
Travis Pastrana, if you guys don't know who Travis Pastrana is, you should be watching this video. In my opinion, my personal opinion, the best action sports athlete that has ever done it. Or Travis Pastrana is action sports, but not only because of what he's done trick-wise,
No,
also
it's
what
just-
he's what he's built. He is the face of action sports with Nitro Circus, Nitro movies.
Not even Nyjah Circus. If you think back to Travis Pastrana as an athlete when he was just competing, there was no Nitro Circus. Like, he did a double backflip. And he was the only one to do a double
Dude,
backflip
I watched
on
a video
dirt bike
of him doing
for
it.
like 10
Yeah,
years.
it was
Like, it was a
insane.
little less than that, but still. And just, he was into rallycross. He always had the rowdiest group of guys that were always pushing the envelope because they wanted to be there.
And he always outdid it and performed
He
very
raced
well in
NASCAR.
contests.
Here you go. Look at these.
Yeah.
I don't think he did very well in NASCAR, but
He still raced NASCAR.
he did.
No, there's no backflip.
This is after he did the first one. So this is 4 years after he did, after he did the first one. And
Oh,
just,
wow.
this guy
His
is.
laps.
I don't think anyone in the world rides a dirt bike better than Travis Pastrana.
He might be the most comfortable guy on this bike.
Not even just freestyle, like not even supercross. Like, I mean, there's racers like he is the king.
Rally cars, you can see here.
Just his like
Distance jumping. So like this is the thing. This isn't racing, but that is an insane stunt.
Yeah, like, and him with Red Bull too. When you think of like Red Bull athletes, Travis Pastrana is Red Bull. And like when you think of athletes that are like what Red Bull
Oh
has,
yeah, he tried to.
he tried to cork 7 and he broke his hip.
Yeah, you can't cork
Or
7 on a
foot.
bike very easily, mate.
He did dub 10s, and then he gets with the broken foot into a rally car at the same X Games, and
Yeah, he's done everything. The Nitro movies are
The broken foot.
insane. They push the barrier all the time. Nitro events, World Games are insane, and just everything he's done in the sport is insane. And he's also got 11 X Games gold medals, which is that's a
11?
lot of gold.
11 gold. How many non-golds?
I don't know how many non-golds, but he's got 11 X Games gold medals, which is a lot of gold medals.
Anyway.
pretty unreal. Anyway,
There's
so-
nobody who tops the list. You're not going to convince me otherwise. There's lots of talented athletes out there. I'm not discrediting anyone's abilities, but when it comes to the most accomplished, or an athlete that's accomplished the most and impacted the action sports community the most,
I think
look at his house, what he's
action
done at
sports
his
community.
house. Look at what he's done with the Nitro Circus. How many people, like Ryan Williams, wouldn't be here.
he wouldn't
would
be here.
be
No,
here,
he
but he
be where
wouldn't have
is.
anywhere near the same. He wouldn't be like.
No,
there's
he
no
wouldn't be
Nitro
here.
World Games, so he probably wouldn't have switched. What would have got him to switch to BMX?
He wouldn't
That
even be
happened with
hitting
Nitro
mega
Circus.
ramps.
Like all of that is from Travis Pastrana.
Yeah, I
So
think
when you
he
think
has the
about it,
biggest impact
absolutely.
on action sports. as
He's
whole.
also a very respectable person. He's a well.
He seems like a very nice guy.
Had a lot of head injuries and still talking.
He has
so
a lot of injuries in general, man.
we didn't
Jesus
get into that, but
Christ.
yes, that man has taken a beating. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure.
Yes. Oh, so I'm sure we have missed. I'll wrap this up as Patty has left, but I'm sure we've missed a couple athletes in here that you guys might think. So leave them down below. Let us know what you think, and stay tuned because we'll be posting more. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, I really appreciate it. It helps us out. And it helps what we're doing at the action sports community. So yeah, come join the cult, you freak bitches. Welcome.